She thought you'd always be there, but you're not the same anymore. She believed you would wait forever, that no matter how indifferent she was, no matter how she played hot and cold, you would always stay. She thought you would keep proving your worth. But there was one thing she never expected. The moment you stopped, the moment you no longer chased, the moment you chose silence. That was when she realized something had changed. Not when you were angry, not when you tried to explain, plead, or fight, but when you simply let go. She thought this game would last forever, but a game, it only continues if both players are still playing. And you walked away, no more chasing, no more repeating the same mistakes, no more letting someone else define your worth. Now, she no longer has power over your life. She expected you to fight. She expected you to cling to what was left. But when you chose silence, when you grew and became stronger, when she became nothing more than a distant memory, that's when she panicked. That's when she realized she had lost something real. But by the time she figured it out, you were already too far gone to care. So stay with me today. We're flipping the script. You are no longer the one chasing. You are no longer the one waiting. Today, everything changes. We're going to talk about the kind of silence that speaks louder than words. We're going to talk about walking away, not because you lost, but because you finally found yourself. We're going to talk about reclaiming control, not over someone else, but over your own life. It's time to change. It's time to take back your power. If you're ready to regain control of your life, let's explore the philosophy of Stoicism together. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single video. If this spoke to you, drop a number 1 in the comments. If not, drop a number 2. I'm always listening, always improving. Now, let's dive in. 1. The power of disappearing without a trace. When silence is the strongest response. The most powerful move you can make is to say nothing at all. She expects drama. She expects long, emotional messages, begging, explaining, fighting to be understood. She thinks you'll fall apart, that the moment she walks away, you'll come running. But what happens when you don't react, when you give her absolutely nothing? Imagine a magician. Every night he performs the same familiar trick, making a coin disappear, then bringing it back. At first, the audience is intrigued, but over time, they expect it. The trick loses its magic. But then, one night, in the middle of his performance, the magician tosses the coin into the air and silently walks away. No explanation, no closure, just gone. And suddenly, that tiny coin becomes the only thing the audience can't stop thinking about. That is exactly what happens when you walk away from her life. No warning, no goodbye, no second chances. She didn't appreciate you when you were always there, when she could reach you anytime she wanted, when she believed, no matter what she did, you would still be waiting. But the moment you go completely silent, that's when the panic sets in, because people don't regret hurting you when you cry over them. They don't feel bad when you beg. They don't miss you when you try to explain or hold on. They only regret losing you forever. She'll check her phone, nothing. She'll post something, just to see if you react. Still, silence. She'll send out a small signal, hoping you'll take the bait. But for the first time ever, there's no response. And that's the moment it finally hits her. You're not there anymore. 2. Her game only works if you play along, and that's when it finally hits her. She thought she had you figured out. She believed she could disappear and come back, push and pull, ignore you, then expect you to still be there, waiting, hoping, chasing. But there's one thing she never understood. Her game only worked because you played along. She ignored your message, so you sent another. She disappeared for days, so you forgave her the moment she returned. She made you feel unimportant, then sent a half-hearted text. And you replied immediately, as if nothing had ever happened. Every single time, you unknowingly reassured her that she could treat you however she wanted because you would always be there. She didn't have to put in effort. She didn't have to be genuine. She didn't have to truly commit. Because you made it too easy. But what happens when you stop? When you finally step back and refuse to play along? Imagine standing in front of a claw machine at an arcade. You put in your coins, move the claw, almost grab the prize. But it slips through at the last second. Frustrated, you try again. Why? Because you were so close. That's exactly what she's been doing to you. She gives you just enough to keep you chasing, just enough to make you believe that if you try a little harder, you'll finally have her for real. But she never lets you win. And then, the moment you walk away, the moment you refuse to play, everything changes. Because now, you are the prize. And she's the one standing there, wondering why her old tricks don't work anymore. She'll test you. She'll send a random message, maybe a meaningless reply to one of your posts, just to see if you're still caught in her game. But this time, you don't take the bait. And that's when she realizes the game is over. 3. Stop rewarding her half-hearted efforts. Your worth isn't cheap. And that's when she realizes the game is over. But that doesn't mean she won't try again. Because now, she's testing you. She doesn't truly miss you. She misses control. She misses knowing that with just one small action, a text, a random like on your post, she could pull you right back in. She's not lying awake at night, filled with regret. She's just checking to see if you're still trapped in her web. And every time you respond, even a little, you prove to her that she still has access to you, that she doesn't have to try, that she doesn't have to earn your time, energy, or attention. No real apology, no genuine change, just a lazy test to see if you're still there. Now, imagine you're a vending machine. Every time she presses a button, she gets exactly what she wants. No effort, no appreciation, just instant gratification. But what happens when the machine stops working? At first, she'll push the buttons, try again, maybe even give it a frustrated kick. But eventually, she'll walk away, because she only valued you when you required nothing from her. She only wanted you when she didn't have to earn you, and the moment she realizes she no longer has easy access to you, that's when she starts feeling the loss. From now on, if she doesn't do it right, she doesn't get in. Before we continue, I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making it this far in the video. Every moment we spend learning and growing is a gift. And the fact that you're here, listening, reflecting, means the world to me. If you find these lessons valuable, hit the like button and share this video. Every share is a small but meaningful action, just like the timeless lessons of Stoicism. Let's keep growing together. Once again, thank you for being here. Now, let's move on to the next lesson. 4. Let her feel the coldness she once gave you. From now on, if she doesn't do things right, she no longer has a place in your life. And trust me, when she realizes you're not playing along anymore, she'll feel it. She'll remember exactly how she used to treat you, ignoring your messages, taking hours, even days to reply, keeping you guessing, but no matter what she did, you were always there, always reaching out, always trying, always keeping the connection alive. Now, it's her turn to feel it. Imagine this. You're standing outside in the freezing cold, knocking on a door, waiting for someone to open. You knock again. No answer. You tell yourself, Maybe they didn't hear me. You knock one more time. Still silence. And then the cold becomes unbearable. You can't wait anymore. So you walk away. That's exactly what she'll feel when she reaches out and you're no longer there. She'll check her phone, expecting your response, expecting you to still care, expecting you to still be waiting, but all she gets is silence. At first, she won't believe it. She'll try again. Maybe a casual message, "Hey, how have you been?" Or a fake apology, just vague enough to see if you take the bait. But when you don't react, that's when it finally hits her. This isn't revenge. This isn't a game. This is balance. This is the moment you respect yourself enough to stop chasing someone who once left you out in the cold. The next level has begun. 5. Rise to a level where she becomes nothing more than a distant memory. This isn't revenge. This isn't a game. This is balance. This is the moment you respect yourself enough to stop chasing someone who once left you out in the cold. But now, it's time to take things to the next level, because nothing will hit her harder than realizing you didn't just disappear. You became untouchable. She once believed you'd stay stuck in the past. You'd wait, hoping she'd come back. You'd always be there because she thought she had time. But what she never saw coming was your transformation. You hit the gym, not to make her jealous, but to feel stronger in your own skin. You chase your dreams, not to impress her, but to build a life that excites you. You sharpen your mindset, build unshakable confidence, and elevate your entire energy. Not because you want her back, but because for the first time, you see your true worth. And the best part, one day out of nowhere, she'll check in. Maybe she'll hear about you from a friend. Maybe she'll scroll through your profile, expecting to see the same person she once walked away from. But instead, she'll see someone completely different. Someone she'll never have access to again. And that's when she'll finally understand. Not when you cried, not when you begged, not when you tried to make her see your worth, but when she realizes she's no longer even a thought in your world. And by then, you won't even care. 6. Stop explaining yourself. Let her wonder and regret. And by then, you won't even care anymore. That's exactly why you don't owe her an explanation. She never explained when she walked away. She never gave you a reason for the mixed signals, the sudden disappearances, or the way she treated you like a backup plan. She just expected you to accept it, to deal with your emotions alone. So why do you feel the need to explain yourself now? Remember this. She never sat down and said, "Hey, just so you know, I'm about to stop replying to your messages for no reason at all." She didn't care how you felt. She just left and expected you to accept it. So now, you do the same. Imagine this. You're watching a movie. You've invested time, emotions, waiting for the big plot twist, the moment when everything finally makes sense. And then, the screen suddenly goes black. No explanation, no closure, just gone. Your mind starts racing. You rewind, trying to piece everything together. What just happened? Did I miss something? And you keep thinking about it, because the human brain hates unfinished stories. That's exactly what happens when you disappear without a single word. She expected you to send a long message, explaining how she hurt you. She expected you to reach out for one last conversation so she could justify her actions and ease her guilt. But you don't give her that luxury, because if words could have made her care, she would have cared when you were still there. So instead, let her wonder. Let her replay everything in her head. Let silence do the talking. because silence is always more powerful than any explanation. 7. Cut off her emotional access completely when distance becomes power. Silence is more powerful than any explanation, but now you take it even further. You don't just stay silent. You erase her access to you completely, because even if you're not talking to her, she can still feel your energy. She knows you're still watching. She knows you're still thinking about her. She believes she still holds a place in your mind. And that's why she doesn't regret losing you, because in her mind, she still has you. She posts something, and part of her wonders if you saw it. She sends a random message, fully expecting you to reply. Maybe not right away, but deep down she believes you're still there. But the moment you truly disappear, the moment she realizes she no longer has access to your emotions, that's when the panic sets in. She checks her messages. Nothing. She posts something, still silence. She checks her followers and sees you're gone. And that's the moment it finally hits her. Not when you argued, not when you begged, not when you tried to prove your worth, but when she realizes she no longer exists in your world. So from now on, you stop checking, you stop reacting, you stop caring, because nothing haunts her more than knowing that the man who once gave her everything now gives her absolutely nothing. 8. Never give her another chance. Let her learn what it means to lose you, because nothing haunts her more than knowing that the man who once gave her everything now gives her absolutely nothing. And that's exactly why she'll come back. But don't be fooled. She's not coming back because she's changed. She's not coming back because she suddenly realized your worth. She's coming back to test you. She'll try different tactics. A casual, "Hey, how have you been?" A fake apology, just convincing enough to make you hesitate. Or even, "I miss you." But don't fall for it. She already played her game once, and that's all she'll ever get. She used to believe she could disappear whenever it was convenient, then come back like nothing happened, and the door would always be open. Not this time, because the moment you let her back in, she wins. She'll know she can hurt you, leave you hanging for weeks or months, and you'll still take her back. And once she knows that, she will never truly respect you. So when she knocks on your door again, when she tries to slip back into your life like she never left, all she gets is silence. And that's the moment she finally understands. She lost you forever. 9. The ultimate revenge. Stop caring and watch what happens. And that's when she finally realizes she's lost you forever. But here's the truth. You don't need her to understand. You don't need her to regret. You don't need her to feel guilty. You don't need her to wake up one day and realize she made a mistake. Because the ultimate revenge is to stop caring altogether. She didn't feel the loss when you cried. She didn't regret it when you begged. She didn't suffer when you tried to explain how she hurt you. Because as long as you reacted, as long as you still cared, she still had power. She wanted your emotions, whether it was love, anger, or frustration. If you were still thinking about her, she still mattered. If she could still make you mad, she still had a place in your world. But the moment she becomes irrelevant, the moment you hear her name and feel nothing, that's when she truly suffers. Because people don't regret hurting you. They only regret it when they realize they can never reach you again. And when she finally figures that out, you'll be too busy winning to even care. No more chasing. No more proving your worth. No longer an option. She once thought she had you all figured out. She thought she could leave, come back, play with your emotions, and you'd always be there. But the moment you stop caring, the game is over. She starts suffering, not when you beg, not when you explain, But when she realizes she has lost complete access to you, no more reactions, no more chances, no more you, and when the dust settles, when she finally understands what she lost, you'll be too far ahead to even notice. So remember, your silence is your power, your growth is your revenge, your indifference is the lesson she'll never forget. Now go build a life she can only watch from a distance. Silence isn't weakness, it's a sign of strength. When you stop chasing, stop explaining, stop trying to prove your worth to someone who never truly valued you, that's not avoidance. That's control. Control over yourself. Control over your emotions. Control over your life. Because when you're no longer an easy option, you become a real value in any relationship. If someone doesn't have to put in effort to have you, they won't appreciate you. The more accessible you are, the easier you are to take for granted. But when you walk away with self-respect, when you refuse to be a backup plan, you don't just preserve your dignity, you make a statement. Stop seeking validation from others. Start focusing on yourself. Because when you disappear without a trace, it's not to wait for someone to regret losing you. It's to step into a stronger version of yourself. That's the real victory. Revenge. It's not about making someone suffer. It's about reaching a point where you no longer care whether they regret it or not. Never place your self-worth in someone else's hands, because the right person won't make you prove your value, and those who don't appreciate you, they're not worth another second of your time. We've explored the power of silence, the kind that speaks louder than words, the kind that makes her feel your absence in the most profound way. When you go silent, when you don't react, when you vanish without explanation, that's when she starts to feel the loss. She expected you to chase, to fight, to beg. But when that doesn't happen, her mind spirals with questions. She could only manipulate you while you were still playing her game. But the moment you stop, the moment you no longer react to her half-hearted signals, when you're no longer easily within reach, you leave her lost, confused. The coldness you show becomes a mirror, reflecting the way she once treated you. And as you grow, evolving into a stronger, better version of yourself, she realizes she's no longer part of your world. She'll come back. She'll test the waters, a random message, a vague apology, a casual check-in, a weak attempt to pull you back in. But if you stand firm, if you refuse to engage, she'll feel it. She'll know the opportunity has passed. And when she realizes she no longer has access to you, not just physically, but emotionally, that's when she truly loses you. Forever. The ultimate revenge, it's not anger, not resentment, it's indifference. When you fully move on, when her presence or absence means nothing, when her name no longer stirs even the faintest emotion, that's when you win. The game doesn't end with a fight. It doesn't end with an explanation. It ends when she realizes you've gone too far beyond caring. So don't look back. Build a life she can only watch from a distance, because the greatest power isn't in what you say, it's in what you no longer need to say. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, don't just stop at watching. Take action. Change the way you see life. Subscribe to Stoic Station today and continue exploring the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Together, we'll cultivate calmness, resilience, and strength, so you can face life's challenges with clarity and confidence. True happiness isn't found in chasing what's beyond your reach. It's in facing yourself, learning to navigate life with wisdom, acceptance, and inner peace. Let go of expectations. Embrace reality. That's true freedom. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What part of this video made you reflect the most? What topics would you like to explore next? Drop a comment below. Let's build a community of strong, wise, and peaceful individuals together. See you in the next video.